Millions of years ago, Europe was not the continent we know today. It was a shattered world of islands drifting across a warm prehistoric ocean. Volcanoes burned across the horizon, and thick clouds of ash turned sunsets into rivers of fire. Dense jungles covered the land. Giant ferns stretched toward the sky, while insects the size of birds ruled the humid air. Strange sounds echoed through the forests. Deep, thunderous footsteps shook the soft muddy ground. Across the shallow coastal plains, herds of plant-eating dinosaurs moved like living mountains. Among them was Europasaurus, a surprisingly small sauropod that evolved on isolated islands where food was scarce. Unlike its massive relatives in North America, Europasaurus adapted by becoming smaller and faster. Predators watched from the shadows. Early European theropods stalked silently, waiting for weakness. The air was thick and heavy. Storms rolled in without warning, flooding entire valleys within hours. Rivers carved through the jungle like silver snakes, carrying fallen trees and ancient bones toward the sea. On rocky cliffs, flying reptiles launched themselves into the wind, gliding over a world untouched by humans. Every sunrise revealed a battlefield of survival. Only the strongest creatures endured another day. This was not a peaceful paradise. It was a brutal experiment of evolution unfolding in real time. Separated by endless water, each island became its own prehistoric kingdom. Different species evolved in isolation, creating forms of life never seen anywhere else on Earth. And deep within these primeval lands, a silent transformation of Europe had already begun. As millions of years passed, Europe's islands became home to some of the strangest dinosaurs in history. Hungarosaurus armored its body with thick plates of bone, turning itself into a living fortress. In the distance, the massive Dinosaurus swung its spiked tail like a weapon forged by nature itself. These creatures were built for defense, not speed. Survival meant endurance against relentless predators. But danger also came from above. Giant pterosaurs ruled the skies like silent shadows of death. They scanned the forests for movement, diving with terrifying precision toward unsuspecting prey. Meanwhile, the land itself continued to change. Tectonic forces slowly pushed islands closer together. New migration paths opened. Dinosaurs that had evolved separately suddenly met for the first time. Competition exploded. Territories were fought over with claws, horns, and crushing jaws. Seasonal droughts turned lush jungles into dry wastelands where only the toughest species survived. Yet life always returned. Monsoon rains transformed the landscape back into a green prehistoric paradise. Herds grew larger, predators more intelligent, and ecosystems more complex than ever before. Europe was no longer just scattered islands. It was becoming a dynamic continent filled with evolving giants. Each generation of dinosaurs carried subtle changes, shaping the future of life on land. Nature was experimenting without mercy, testing strength, speed, and intelligence. And soon, an unimaginable force from the depths of space would threaten it all. Toward the end of the dinosaur era, Europe had transformed into a vast archipelago of rich ecosystems. Towering forests stretched across the land, echoing with the calls of creatures now long extinct. Tethyschodros roamed the coastal plains, perfectly adapted to life on shrinking islands. Its slender body allowed it to move swiftly between dense vegetation and rocky terrain. But beneath this thriving world, tension was building. Climate shifts began to alter ancient migration patterns. Sea levels rose and fell, swallowing entire habitats and forcing species into desperate journeys. Volcanic eruptions darkened the skies for months, weakening already fragile ecosystems. Food chains collapsed in certain regions, creating fierce competition for survival. Still, dinosaurs endured. For millions of years they had adapted to every challenge Earth presented. Then one night, a new star appeared in the sky, brighter than anything seen before. Animals grew restless. Herds stampeded without knowing why instinct warned them of coming doom. The object grew larger with each passing day, blazing like a second sun across the heavens. When it finally struck the planet, shockwaves rippled across Europe's fragile island worlds. Forests burned, oceans rose, darkness consumed the skies for years. The reign of European dinosaurs came to a silent and tragic end. But beneath layers of ancient rock, their story waited, ready to be discovered millions of years later.